Hi guys, today's video is about how to make a podcast, and I will show you everything you need in order to get started. Podcasts are one of the most effective ways to build your brand, to raise awareness about your brand, your company, yourself, establish yourself as a thought leader within your industry, and is probably one of the cleverest and smartest ways to build assets for your brand. So today I'm going to show you exactly how you can create your podcast. I will show you what equipment I use, what editing software I use, and I will also give you some insights of what else I do with that podcast once it is created in order to build more brand assets. First things first, before you start creating your podcast, it is important to sit down with yourself or with your team and figure out exactly what your content strategy is going to be. What is the overall topic of your podcast? What aim do you have with the podcast? Do you want to raise brand awareness? Do you want to establish yourself as a thought leader in your industry? What exactly is it that you want to accomplish with your podcast? To give you an example, because I have worked with startups for the past 12 years, and I love startups, I love innovation, I love creating new products with impact. It was the most obvious choice for me to go down this path. So my podcasts are all about startups, inspiring entrepreneurs, following their journey and getting insights on their learnings, and basically spread the word and get this content out to other entrepreneurs and hopefully provide value that helps them to build their companies. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about equipment. Okay, let's talk about equipment. Most important thing is, if you do a video podcast like I do, you need a camera. So because I'm recording right now, it's hard for me to show you the camera. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you the camera in a mirror. So here we are. So this is a Canon G7X Mark II. I will include the link in the description box, so you can go to Amazon and buy it if you want to. The second thing that I have is a tripod. This tripod is perfect for this camera. You can bend it, place it everywhere where you need to. What I also love about this setup is it's super easy to take with me anywhere I go. It fits in any bag. I don't need like a big backpack or anything. It's super light, and I can travel around and go into the office of the founder that I record for the particular day. So it's super easy. So the next thing I have is something that I just broke this morning, but I got two of those. So I just basically have to fix it. So what this is this is a tiny Rode mic. Next thing I have is a Rode mic. So I got two of these because normally my interviews are with two people. What you do is you can either put it on your clothes. Right now I actually have it underneath my shirt so you don't see it. And what I use for that are these tiny little plastic things, which are also produced by Rode. So they're actually for the microphone. You can stick them on with these stickers. So I'm also going to include that in the description box, links to it. And the next thing I have is an iPhone. So this is recording right now. I plugged the Rode mic into the iPhone, and I have a software. So I use two iPhones actually. So I have a software that I use, an app. It's called Recorder. Again, I'll link to it in the description box. And basically, you can see here, all you have to do is super simple. Press the record button and it's recording. Once you're done, you just press the pause button, or you can press the stop button and you press save. So I'm just going to call it recording right now. You press save and done. Make sure your mic is sticked in. Another thing I do for recording is before I record, I clap 3 times in order to make sure that once you sync up the audio with the camera video in Premiere Pro, which I use, is that it's synced nicely. So you don't have to do any work. It's already synced and you can do some quick editing, and that's pretty much it. So without further ado, we're going to jump now into Premiere Pro. I'm going to show you what I do in order to do my editing, make the audio nice and crisp, and also put some filters on my video. And that's the next step. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm now in front of my computer. So what I've done is I opened Premiere Pro and I'm going to go to library. And what I'll do now is I put in here all my audio files and video files. So checking in here is I have a folder where I put in my raw materials. So what I do is I normally put my audio files in a folder which is called audio. So I'm going to chuck all these into here now. And then I also have a folder which is called videos. So here is my video material and I'm going to chuck this in here as well. In order to sync your video with your audio file that you have recorded, all you have to do is make use of the Premiere Pro feature, which is basically merging clips. So that's what we're going to do now. I'll show you exactly how that works. I'm going to select the audio and the video file. And I'm now clicking on merge clips. I'm just going to keep the name as it is. And I will hit OK. And it's now merging the clips together. Now I'm going to put that clip into my timeline. So I drag it in. And you can see how perfectly it has aligned. Here are my audio files and here is the audio from the video itself. I'll play it to see if the audio lines up properly. There you go. So it lines up perfectly. So you didn't really have to do anything, just merge the clips. So again, make sure that you do clapping hands in the beginning. And now what I'm going to do is I will delete the original one. And this is the audio that I'm going to work with. I probably will create another video on exactly what I do with the audio to make it crisp and clear. To give you a quick overview is what I'll do is I put some filters on it, which is basically there is a filter that takes out noise and a filter that takes out clicks, so any unexpected clicks. And then I increase the loudness by using out audio gain, and I also put a mastering filter on top of it in order to get a really nice sound for the audio. And that's pretty much it. For the video itself, the main filters that I work with is lumetri, colors, and I usually use the basic corrections. There's also a way to create a preset for your videos, so you don't have to create the filter over and over again. You can save a preset so you can use it for your videos the next time. Again, if you want to have a video on exactly how I do it in detail, let me know, and I'm gonna record this all for you guys. So you just gotta let me know if you want to see this type of stuff. For now, I'll keep it short because otherwise this video is going to be like an hour long and nobody's going to watch it. So that's the editing. I'll save it as a MP4 and then it goes up to YouTube. Do you want to see what I do on YouTube? Let's do it. So here's my channel, and guys, you gotta subscribe to my channel, please subscribe so you don't miss any content. So basically what you're gonna do is you press the upload button. If you have set up your monetization, you can also schedule your videos. Again, if you want to see a video on how to set up your monetization, I can produce that for you. Just let me know. Let's just go with public for now. So that means as soon as the video is uploaded, it's going to be public. I'm just going to drop in any video right now. And what you're going to do here is you put in your title, your description, make sure you put tags in. Ideally, upload a custom thumbnail. Keep that thumbnail interesting so that people are intrigued to click. Have an interesting title. Because I'm currently in Australia, the internet is very slow. So what I do is I usually upload my video in the evening before I go to bed, because it can take 4 hours or even longer if it's a 30-minute video. So I'll upload it while I sleep, if that makes any sense. If you only want to have a audio podcast, you can use Premiere Pro for editing your audio just the same way, and you keep it without pictures. If you want to have video and audio podcast, which I am going to do from this weekend on. So by the time this comes out on Wednesday, my podcast will be available on SoundCloud and iTunes as well. You can actually also export your file as an audio in Premiere Pro, and you can then upload it to SoundCloud for podcasts. I'm going to include the link to the whole podcast section on SoundCloud, so you can read up on that, why SoundCloud is an amazing platform to upload your podcast. And the cool thing about that is you can actually use the RSS feed and hook that up with your iTunes account, so you can actually have your podcast available on both platforms. So that means you have a bigger reach and you can grow an audience on both platforms. SoundCloud has more the creative people up there, potentially a younger audience than iTunes has for podcasts. This gives you a chance to grow your podcast audience on both platforms and just do testing and see what works for you. If you realize that only SoundCloud works for you and iTunes doesn't, I would just go with one channel and drop the other one. But it's all about testing. So I recommend to you start with both in order to, just hit myself, in order to higher your chances of getting an audience. And that's that, guys. Gosh, that was lots of information right now. I also need to remember to breathe. I'm not even breathing. I'm so excited about this. Anyhow, this is it. This is how you do it. This is how I do it, and you can do it too. And here, one more thing which I wanted to talk about is, if you're still here, hey, I'm glad you're still sticking around, because this is really good stuff right now. There are many amazing things about why you should create podcasts. But another awesome thing about creating podcasts is you have an awesome asset for your company that you can use to create more assets, which means find a editor, find a writer who is going to write a blog post on your podcast. And you can then use Medium or have your own blog and publish it on there. It's all about raising more brand awareness and getting people that might not necessarily listen to podcasts into your content, and use that also as gateway to grow your audience for your podcast. So maybe they don't find you on SoundCloud or iTunes or on social media, but they might find you through Medium or SEO by simply, searching for stuff on Google. So having your podcast in a written format, nicely wrapped as an article that you publish on different platforms, will also help you to grow your audience for your podcast, for your business. And yeah, that's it. So what I use for this, by the way, is I found an amazing, talented writer on Upwork. So if you don't know Upwork, let's quickly jump over there as well. Upwork. You can also use Freelancer, freelancer.com. There are lots of different platforms where you can recruit talented writers or anything that you really need for your business. So this is Upwork. Upwork used to be Odesk back in the days, but they changed their branding. And while it started off as a platform where you mainly could recruit developers and anything technology related and development related, it is now a platform where you can pretty much hire everyone anywhere that you need in your business. So this is how I found my freelancer. It's super easy. You can just sign up to it. And once again, if you want to see exactly how I find my freelancers that I work with, which are all over, spread all over the world, just let me know and I'm going to create a video on that too. If this was all a little bit too much information right now and you're not the type of person who sits down and makes their notes, I did it for you. I created a checklist on how to make a podcast, and it includes everything that I talked about right now, and you can download that from my blog. I'm going to include a link in the description box, and hopefully that helps you to get started today. Don't wait, just do it. It's a learning process. You'll be fine. It's really easy to do, actually. The whole thing that takes the most time is procrastinating and thinking about how you can do it rather than doing it. So just do it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more how-to videos and startup talk, and leave a comment below. Let me know what you liked, or if you have any questions of what you want me to record in the future. I love to hear your feedback. It helps me to produce content that is valuable for you. And that's it for today, guys. High five. I'll see you in a few days. Bye. How am I gonna do this? Oh no, this sounds terrible. Which means, excuse me, hello. I don't know. I think that was fairly good.